Oh boy. I'm Caleb.
I'm Haley.
And I'm having
Coffee with my ex.
And my ex's ex.
And my ex's boyfriend.
And my boyfriend.
It's a tangled web.
Yeah.
I feel like we explain that differently every time all four of us are on the podcast.
There's so many ways that we can say it. Just makes it interesting.
It makes it, yeah.
So today we have Cameron and Allison on today for a very special episode because what did we do just like 2 days ago?
We launched an activewear line, Miss Jordan.
We announced an activewear line.
Oh, yeah.
We announced
launched
an activewear line called Active Booty, and we're all very excited about it. And I feel like a lot of people have a lot of questions. So I feel like
We
this...
should have...
I did.
Okay. Oh, you're so good.
I did. So we have some of your guys' questions, but we also kind of want to go through like how we made the brand because I think that a lot of people don't know like what goes into making a brand like this, especially a clothing brand. And I feel like it'd be a good tool for anyone who wants to eventually one day start their own clothing line. So we're just going to go through like our, journey with it and then answer your guys' questions. So, okay, from the beginning, when did we start thinking about this?
I feel like it was when we were doing the live shows and we saw fans coming to the events in their own camo leggings.
Yes.
Trying to match us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And everyone, I feel like, has always tried to, like, whatever, like, vibe that we were in, whether it was, like all mesh or if it were,
Or, like, wearing your
the
Timberlands.
shoes.
Yeah.
Like, people coming in, like, the superstars I used to wear and, like, you know what I mean?
Doing their hair the way you would do it.
Yeah, just like things like that. People would always try to like copy what we do, and all the time in the videos, we would always get asked like, "What are we wearing?" People would like buy the stuff that we're wearing in the videos, and all the time we'd be like, "Is this so stupid? Why am I promoting someone else's shit?"
Yeah.
While we're making no money.
Right?
It's like we have the perfect opportunity.
Yeah.
It's like when everyone's saying this is what we want, and we're like, do they want tutorials?
Yeah. The tutorial.
Those are bad.
God, those were so bad. So yeah, when was that though? That we really started like actually.
We've been talking about it forever.
Well,
we started working on it in January of 2019.
And I remember, and like around October is when we started like talking about it more seriously. I remember a few months prior to that, I was like really like inquiring about it myself, which I had no idea like what to do or where to start. But
I remember right before we started the actually planning Active Booty, we were having meetings with this other company who wanted to start an activewear line with us.
Yeah.
But it was going to be like they owned a lot of it and we didn't have total control.
And it was very like buying things that like weren't ours. Like we weren't really creating it. And we were like, because we were like, oh, we want to do our camo. And they're like, well, we can print a star on a legging.
And
I'm
it was like merch, not... Like, it felt like merch, not something curated by us.
And then we were like, you know what? We need to, like, do our own thing. We need to make something.
right, because so many people just like buy like whatever from whoever and then slap their logo on it and call it a day, or like just have someone else do it for them and then call it their own. And I think that we were like, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this right. Like, it's gonna be the hardest thing ever, and we're gonna have to start from scratch. But like, it's gonna be worth it when we say that we designed this.
Yeah.
Well, Haley and I both have a lot of opinions on what we like our activewear to be.
We have so many
and
opinions.
It's different from each other. So that was like an interesting part to try to make something that we both feel comfortable in and to our standards of feel and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it was also important to us to make it ourselves, because if we just bought from someone else, it would have been either something I liked or something you liked.
Right. And that was kind of like the most, I feel like the biggest obstacle, even like mentally getting through like, oh my God, okay, we're going to do this. It has to be like inclusive.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do for a lot of reasons, but like, it's just not done very much.
And we found out why.
Hard.
And the biggest thing is, like, if you do buy wholesale, you really can't go past a 2X.
No, you cannot.
And, like, 1X doesn't exist in wholesale. It's like you go extra large
To
2X.
2X.
And that's it, even if you're lucky to get 2X for wholesale things. And so for us, we were like, no, like we want to go as high as we can, as high as the factory will let us. And we got dropped by a factory because they were like,
too difficult. You guys are too difficult.
They're like, no, like we'll only do like 6 sizes. That's it. And then we thought that was the end.
Because we were like, no, that doesn't work.
We were like, no one's gonna do this. So that was a whole.
I think we should also explain like the wholesale aspect. So most of the time when people are releasing things and calling it a clothing line, it's more so like a boutique where you're looking on a website where they have a lot of...
You're buying.
You're buying, you're picking out clothes that you like that are just like all pre-made. And there's thousands of them, especially like overseas, that you can just buy. And every like 2 weeks you can be like, new collection. But a lot of people are marketing it as if it's their line. And I think while maybe it's smart for them, it really hurts people like us who are investing in our own activewear and designing it from the ground up.
It costs double. For us,
in everything that we're doing, we had to purchase up front. We had to pay for the designers, pay for the team, pay for all of the product, pay for the shipping. Like,
mind you, while we're really just starting to figure out how to make money from what we're doing.
So as soon as we figured out how to make money, we took that and invested it.
And that's what you do in business. You invest the money you make until, you know what I mean, it is so big that you're like, oh my God, I have to do all this money.
But really, like making activewear in a sense is basically like 5 steps. Like the first is actually designing it. So like,
okay, so let's talk about that.
Whiteboard.
So when was that we drew on the whiteboard?
That was in March.
Really? I think it was June.
I got the domain name and all the social handles of Active Booty in March of 2019. So we were doing something.
And I remember like that same week, Cameron sat me down and he was like, because I don't remember what you were working on, something else that hasn't been even thought about since.
Yeah.
And Cameron and I were like, okay, I remember him being like, we're gonna spearhead this, but you dropped what you.
And then you were just like,
you've dropped it so many times.
Yeah. I just dropped it again last week.
Started and dropped again.
So yeah, he bought the domain. I remember us buying. Is that when he bought all the different colors of markers?
Oh yeah. Because we just got a dry erase board, and so I bought a bunch of markers too, and I was like, oh my God, we can like draw everything on here.
So we started drawing stuff, and like number one, we said we had to have a camo set that was like, but we didn't want it to be like John Deere.
Yeah.
Like we wanted it to be like full cute camo set. I had a dream in my mind about the sports bra that I wanted. I was like, this is my perfect sports bra, and it still is, and I live inspired by that sports bra.
Have you heard her talk about the sports bra?
I talk about the sports bra all the time.
That's kind of what happened with this shirt.
Yeah, you're like, this is my shit.
Yeah. I was like, I have to have this shirt. I don't know if it can be done, but I have to have this.
And now that you have it, I've had to hound her so much to be like, don't
Stop
wear
wearing
it.
Well,
Wait until you're selling it because you're going to get tired of it.
Side note, I wore it today to show you that it can be done casually too.
Yeah, she wears this shit all the time.
I wear it to go out to eat.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell them the story of the mesh tee? Or
well, I don't know if I just ever stepped.
We're not there yet.
Let's go in order.
From the camo set, from then we were like, we need a more like relaxed like set, but we didn't want to just do like. I remember you, Caleb, originally talking about just like a black set, and I was like, everyone has a pair of black leggings, like let's make it a little different. And at the time, like the mesh panel and color panel blocking was like just becoming a trend, and I was obsessed. And I was like, we should make it a green set. The straps need to match the green and the panel, and it should be mesh because like just like a little bit of skin. And so the everyday set was born. But then. Let's say a little prayer.
Oh my God, she's gonna talk about the belt bag.
The Shining Star belt bag, because we were like, okay, the fifth thing should be an accessory. Remember that? Like it was gonna be no, it was gonna be a top and then an accessory. But the top was a tank top. It was completely different.
And we were never gonna.
The tank was not it. We're not tank girls. Yeah, we're not tank girls. The tank was my idea, and I was like, that's a stupid idea. But the belt bag. I felt super very passionate about the belt bag because I was like, oh my God, I love like taking like a little bag to the gym, but it's also like a bag I could wear like to go out in or like whatever, and it was the perfect bag, but it got nixed.
It was a matte black bag with a glossy star on
The
it.
shining star felt bag.
Black on black.
The most
The most intricate product.
It was the cutest little like bum bag ever. Like it was gonna be everything. Maybe one day, but these.
You haven't gotten over that trauma
I
yet.
literally, I'm
thought she
still
forgot
going
about
through
it.
a loss. I talk about it all the time. Every time I see like the original sketches that we did on the dry erase board, and I see that belt
a
bag,
rectangle with a star in it.
I'm like,
She goes, oh my god, the shining star belt bag. Every time.
Okay, so that's like the designing.
Yeah, we took the design that we drew on the whiteboard, took a picture of it, and then we sent it to the design team, and they make a mock-up of it. So then we see what it actually would look like before it's like made. So you see, and then like we got it back, and then the black set like didn't have pockets, and we were like, no, we have to have pockets. So then like we changed that, and then we had like a whole
Green
other
was different.
legging.
We had a whole different black bra.
We had straps.
We had
Yeah.
like so many straps in the bra.
A lot of
but
straps.
then it turned into just like not. Because going
It
from
wasn't as
drawing,
like
It didn't make
universal as we
sense.
wanted it.
Yeah.
going from
And
drawing
it
something to it like actually happening, there's a lot of things
That
that
change.
occur and change, and you might
There's
not be
so
able
many
to do,
like
so-
back and forth
Yeah.
like things, and that's why it takes so long.
Yeah.
But
And also, this was our first collection, so it definitely took us longer than like other collections might, just
Right.
because we hadn't done this before, and we were like, okay, we want this to be exactly what we want,
and like figuring out the
nothing wrong.
fit and like
Yeah.
what we really wanted the brand to represent, and like the sizing and like stuff like that.
We spent so much time on the sizing and on samples. Like we ordered so many more
We
samples.
probably
I
spent
think
a whole year just on the samples.
And
we got
just-
more samples than we were supposed to. We were like, we don't
Yeah.
care. We
Yeah, we
need
have
and
more.
those cost money because samples are made by hand.
That's why the factory wanted to
Like
drop us too, because we
100%.
kept ordering samples, and we got down to the line.
They
They
were
were like,
like,
"This
"You
is
gotta
the
stop."
last one,"
Yeah.
Yeah, so
but it was worth it.
And so
then-
we made changes on that
Yeah, we
time.
did.
before we
Yeah, we didn't get another sample. We were like, well, it still has to be changed. So
And so the final changes we made, we were like, "Okay, this is production. So what if these changes aren't right? We're screwed."
Yeah.
And luckily,
but
it
they
was
sent
exactly
us
what we
some
needed.
like right as they started producing, they sent us some just to be like, this is
Yeah.
it. Like
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then they didn't. That took away from our.
And wasn't that even wrong? Just with like the length on one that we ended up changing last minute.
Well, those are still hand
that
sewn.
was a change we
Yeah.
made.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, we're getting off topic. We're just chatting.
Just know that we really, really
To go
tried.
from the design to getting that, and then we did sizing for a long time, and like what we wanted that to be, how we wanted it to be. We were comparing ourselves to every single brand that has ever existed.
Yes.
Because sizing is so
Different.
And you don't want to like create like a whole new like
Yeah.
sizing chart so people don't even know what to order. You know what I mean? Like you want it to be like true to like your clothes and like the fit, but also you don't want to change too much of like what's already kind of been put out there.
yeah.
Because then it just becomes like a bitch to order. But are we going to talk about like who helped us?
Yeah, I think we for sure.
So-
Get loud.
Absolutely.
So whenever we were first talking about this, so you had texted another one of our YouTube friends who's been so great and so helpful, and who has a clothing line, and
I still have that text. I just found it the other day.
and he sent her that text and was like nervous because like we're kind of like I wouldn't say like rivals, but like competitive in
Yeah.
like the same market.
You were asking like
well,
advice, right?
I sent a message and I said, "Hey, like you're the queen in the clothing space,
Yeah.
like in the fitness space. We really want to start an activewear line. Do you have any advice for like manufacturers or factories?" And then
like looking for guidance,
Because
kind
we
of.
had like calls before that, and we were like, like we're drowning. So then you reach out and you're
Yeah.
like, hey.
But I think that Kayla was kind of scared she's gonna be like,
I
Yeah.
didn't want her to think it was competition, even though
Yeah.
it is competition. But I was
but
just
you weren't
so
coming from a
nervous.
place of that. You were
so
just,
who is she?
It is Cassie Ho of Blogilates.
Yes.
She was so gracious. As soon as I sent that text, she immediately was like, "Hey, we've never done this before, but we want you to be like the first person that we really help."
Mind you, Cassie has her own very successful brand called Popflex.
Yes, yeah, and the whole thing was she offered to help us and give us the contacts for like the designers and the factory and her expertise over like the past however many years she's been designing with the fabrics and everything she's learned. So that let us literally skip years of trial and error.
Right, because she's had to go through, like, she's had, like, whole rebrands with Pop Flex with, like, different materials. And I know, like, designing is one of her biggest passions. Like, I think over anything else, like, that's what she's always wanted to do. And for her to just share that expertise with us was really nice and totally unexpected and, like, unnecessary, but I'm so grateful.
And the thing about working with Cassie is that every step of the way, it's not like we're taking Pop Flex clothes and putting our logo on it.
Yeah.
She's allowing us to design everything from the ground up, change everything. It's literally just her helping facilitate what we want it to be.
Yeah.
So that's what I think the dream was, because I didn't want to work with someone and then be like, oh, it's just your brand with our name on it. And it's really...
And we've had activewear brands reach out to us, and we were like, no.
Yeah.
I mean...
Just last week, we got a really big one. One of the biggest, actually.
Yeah, we did.
Gymshark.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Gymshark reached out to us last week. You don't have to bleep them.
Oh.
I didn't sign anything. But yeah, Gymshark reached out to us last week, and...
That's really funny, because whenever we were trying to do, I'm throwing shade. Whenever we were trying to do a shoot for the tour that never happened because of COVID, we asked them for clothes and they wouldn't give us any.
Nope.
Just for a photo shoot.
Yeah, they reached out, and it took everything in me to not respond and just be like, you only go up to XL. Why are you contacting?
It doesn't make any sense for us.
Yeah, what are you doing, baby?
I mean, yeah, like you do you, but like obviously our brands just don't align, so that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, so we've had like multiple brands like that reach out to us, and we were always like, we're just like selling their product. They'll like pay us a little bit, but then like
it's just like a one-off type of deal.
Yeah, and then I'm like, we want to create something that is literally for our fans, and that's exactly what this first collection is. And like a lot of people keep asking, like, what other, or do you have more products coming at launch, like next Tuesday? And I'm like, no, girl, this is a lot.
This is it.
But this,
if you guys could see the living room right now, and like everything that's here,
though, is like inspired by our fans, like the camo, the black, like it's
the mesh
it's
tee.
The Fitness Marshall vibe. But of course, our next collection is going to be, you know, something that's universal.
Yeah.
Right, and every collection after that, like, it's always like, we're gonna just keep trying new things. Like, there's, you know.
Yeah, we have to start somewhere. And some people said, like, oh, only 5 products. But that's a lot for, like, us.
Like, look at us. This is it.
There's 4 of us here. And, like, we are doing everything. We've been through this the whole way. And now that all the clothes are here, like, today... Like, we were carrying the boxes around. Like,
I mean,
all
it's
these boxes of clothes. We're doing inventory.
Packing the shit up. Like,
we're packing it. We're taking it to the post office. Like, we're doing everything. And, like, this really is, like, something for our fans.
Yeah.
And, like, we keep saying, like, labor of love. But honestly, it is because, I mean, I don't wear leggings or bras. You don't.
You can't.
But, like, we see, like, even in Best of Booties, like, we see all these people and they're just wearing, like, other brands. Or they're wearing something that's, like, not fun,
or they'll just like throw on like a random pair of camo leggings, like just trying to be like in the brand, and it's really nice to be able to like provide that, and everyone can like, we can all match. We're twinsies.
But this collection will last.
Like this is our like capsule collection. Like, this will always be here.
I do want to say, because a lot of people have not a lot of people, but some people have reached out and talked about, hey, you're saying active booty for every booty, you only go up to 3X. And I wanted to acknowledge that because, like, again, we are self-funded. We're just starting out. Being able to launch with 8 sizes was so hard for us. But we didn't want to launch with just, like, going up to XL or something. Like, it was important that we had an inclusive range. But that's not saying that we think we're done here. Our goal is to increase our size range. We want this to be for every booty, for anyone to come and be able to fit in our clothes and feel confident. It's just realistically, we literally invested all of our money into this. And so in order to expand, we have to like...
You have to start somewhere. So like it would be a disservice, I feel like, to our fans to not start because we don't go up to like 6X yet. You know what I mean? So like...
But we don't want you to think that we think everyone is included, because we know that we are missing people, and we plan on fixing that in future collections.
And one of the main reasons we can't do that with this collection is like we push so hard just to get up to 3X.
Yeah.
And we're still pushing. And with the factory, like we have to prove to them because they're not used to like making sizes past XL. Like that's like, I don't think,
especially activewear.
I don't think people understand like within the activewear world, the people that manufacture that, like they have templates that go up to a certain size, and so
you can't. It's like not one of those things that you can like add inches here, inches there, because like plus size is a completely different like realm of like how things fit.
And we have
you can't
to prove,
just make it wider, make it longer.
Exactly.
Like, it has to be...
We have to prove to the factory that we do need that,
and that this is important enough to like make the whole thing.
Because they're, I mean, some of them are like, well, you have to order a minimum of this to even get that, and so then that just adds. Literally thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
If we were a big box brand that they knew was making billions of dollars a year, they would be feeling different. But they don't know us yet, so we have to prove it.
So one day, but like I think that starting a brand just for people from a YouTube channel with 8 sizes is
no investors.
It's no investors. Just I think it's pretty.
Any angel investors out there, and you want to reach out?
We did something really cool, and I don't want us to not celebrate the fact that we launched an activewear brand going up to 3X in 2020, where I just saw another influencer launch her own activewear brand, only going up to XL, and I saw that, and I was like, how? How are you still able to do that? And then, like, we're in this, like, state where, I mean, people are being called out for things. People are having conversations. But then that's still happening. And she's, like, she has, like, 100K on her activewear Instagram. And I'm like, what? Yeah. Like, these people really want to just support people because they exist.
And I feel like, not to like bring anyone else down, but like I just want everyone to know that this isn't like a cash grab. No. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people who like start like lines and like activewear, like they buy things in bulk or whatever, and it's a kind of like a cash grab, like easy money. And this is not
even that. We were not even expecting the amount of orders that we've gotten. Like we're literally shocked. I mean,
to be like very, very honest, our margins are not normal. They're much lower than usual for any other brand, and like our suggested price for like the things that we have is much higher, and our quality is really good.
Let's talk about that because let's talk like a little bit about numbers, because I think it's hard to talk about and like uncomfortable, but I think it's important for people to kind of understand like why things are priced the way they are and where they come from, because I think that a lot of that is kind of like smoke and mirrors for a lot of other brands, and I don't really want to be like that.
Well, one of our biggest things was we want to be an activewear line that is affordable, because you have leggings that are literally like over $100, and we're like, like that's not our fan base. Like we know who our fans are. Buy that. Like we know who we are.
I haven't ever bought a pair of leggings for $100.
So like being that, we're like, okay, we need to get the price down as much as we can, and we even went back and forth with that a lot. And I remember the last time like I got them to go down, it was down by 50 cents, but I was like, you know what, that 50 cents is worth it. But it was just so we are able to like actually sustain this business, because we're buying this, like we bought all these pieces in bulk to be able to restock. We need to make all that money back and restock. Like we're not making money off of this first collection. Like we're really not making money, because we have to.
Absolutely not.
We have to restock. We have to get new collections. Like it's
we want to extend the sizes.
This is a new business, so it takes time for us to build our business.
Like with any startup, isn't it like you should like wait like 3 or 4 years before you actually get like a decent chunk of change from anything that you're doing? Like if you're doing it right.
Took 6.
Yeah. So. Just the fact that all of our pieces are under $50 is exactly where we wanted to be.
That's crazy to me. Leggings for $50 of that quality.
So like most wholesale leggings that you can buy are anywhere from like $7 to $11. If you're buying them in bulk, like buying just what they have, their stock, whatever, it's $7 to $11. Like depending on how much you order. Usually you have to order at least 100 of each style. For us, we had to order 500 of each style. And our price point definitely was nowhere near $7 to $11, especially for the bra. The bra we have a very small margin
Very,
because we wanted to make an adjustable bra that made sense. So we added so much. We have metal clasps that are sewn in at the tip. We have other metal clasps to be able to move it. There's straps in the back. Like there's a lot of things that
go into making
bra.
that.
And the bra is the most expensive piece we have.
Yeah.
And
we've talked so much about like we need to double the price of the bra, but it's like we just don't want people to have to pay $60 something for a bra, even though that's literally what it's worth.
Right.
Yeah, because this is worth so much, but we don't want to be that brand that's just like, okay, we can charge this because this other person is. We want to be the brand that's like, okay, let's keep everything under this price point. If we have to take less money, then fine. But also, like, even for some of these things, like with prints or like if it's depending on how many colors, like that gets more expensive. So for us, we're like, okay, maybe this bra can be $1 more than this bra because it was $2 more for us. And so like, I don't know. Even within brands, like I always think of like, okay, how much are they making from like me buying this? And like for us, I'm like, well, we could be making so much more, but that's not why we're here.
Yeah.
We're here because our mission is to literally make activewear for everyone, because that's really not done. You know, like a lot of brands that have like started to include more sizes just started that like last year.
Yeah.
You know, and so we're coming out the gate.
Reluctantly did it.
Yeah.
They for years said, no, we're not doing that.
And there's still active
And
brands
then you
who are
hear,
like, nah.
Yeah.
then you hear like CEOs or like people in companies like saying things about like plus sizes, or like we're not including these type of women, or like these people here. And
Victoria's Secret, Lululemon.
yeah,
Just to name a few.
Just saying, like,
yeah, just to name the main two that are so fucked. But we did buy a bra from Victoria's Secret. It was on clearance, but we bought it whenever we were doing testing, because we bought from pretty much every major brand. We had pieces from that we tried on just to get an idea of their fit across the board, and like, okay, maybe this brand like have their hips a little bigger or their bust or whatever it is. So just getting an idea of like, okay, this brand small is the same as this brand's extra small, or like, and figuring out what is actually true to size, because a lot of these companies will just say, oh, here's a small, like take it. But like we did a ton of testing with that, and like that's how we got to the sizes we're at, and it's our sizing is very true to size.
Yeah.
Like I've compared us to everyone in the world.
Right. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, I did want to say, again, talking about the cost of everything, we have gotten questions about, like, where are the clothes made? What are the ethics? Is it fair wage? And just so everyone is clear, the clothes are made overseas, because that's the only way we're going to be able to do this. But everyone at the factory is paid a fair wage. They have fair hours. They have mental health coverage. They have vacation. Like, we are specifically, I remember we were talking to Cassie about it when we were finding a factory. We went into it knowing, she was like, this factory's very high standards, and so you're going to pay more for these clothes. And we went into it knowing that our profit margins were going to be less, so that we could do it in a more ethical way. So I just wanted that to be out there, because I know everyone was asking.
And they get paid overtime, so they're not, you know, working past
Without
their hours
being
without being
compensated.
compensated.
Which is insane that this even has to be like a conversation, because it is like, especially in 2020, everyone is way more aware of like where things are made, how they're made, the ethics behind whatever. And I think that's great. I think that's wonderful. And I think that I personally love supporting brands who make that one of their like key missions, and it makes me want to go back.
And willing to pay more.
And willing to pay more, exactly. Like, I'm like, oh, this is a fair price for, like, what I'm getting, and I know that, like, I know where, I'm putting my money where my mouth is.
Yeah.
And I think that's super important, especially in 2020, where, like, everyone needs to be more aware.
Yeah.
And as for, like, materials, I think that's something that people don't really understand a lot about, like, materials and using, like, recyclable materials, is that takes a lot more money, and even buying that from a brand, I don't think it's necessarily like appropriate for everyone to assume that everyone can afford like recycled clothing, because it's way more expensive. And it's a luxury. And so although I hope in the future there's ways that we can make our clothing more eco-friendly. I think that that's something that will come in time. And I think that us being who we are and like knowing what we stand for, I know that we are a brand that will want to progress towards that.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that we are in a position to have a brand like this and in a way that I know that we're doing good things.
Yeah, I think it's important to know where we want to go, and we know that.
Yeah.
And we know that we have to fight to get there.
Yeah.
And we're working to get there.
Right.
Like, you know.
It's like one thing at a time. We're like,
you know,
okay, like fair pricing, fair
Yeah.
wages, inclusive sizing. Like we're
Yeah.
trying to cover all of our bases, but I think that not starting is wrong to do because we
I
don't
think
have
that does a
all those
disservice.
things figured out
Yeah.
yet. But I do hear. I was so happy, even though it's like kind of like, oh my God, I feel like I'm under fire. I was so happy to see everyone like asking like where these are coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Proud mama.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I was like, yes, I taught you well.
Yeah, I mean they're holding us accountable, which is good. We're now a clothing brand, so
Yes.
now we're open to criticism, but that only makes us better.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then also it's like we are the champions of that because, you know, it's not common practice to do X, Y, and Z. So it's not, you know, normalized. So whenever we're buying things and we ask for like, oh, can we get this like this way? They're like, oh, we don't usually do that. Like, oh, we're going to charge you more. So it's like we're educating
Them,
Them.
because eventually that's going to be the norm and they need to
Yeah.
someone needs to tell them.
Yeah.
Like eventually this is where things are headed, so like you need to adjust accordingly.
But I'm very proud
I
of
think
how
those
we
are
started.
business.
We are doing everything to be the best that we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm very
We
proud
have the
of where
best
we
of
are.
intentions.
Same.
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Okay, on to some questions. Just a few. Were there any disagreements when choosing what to make us? She said merch, but it's a clothing line.
It's a clothing line.
Y'all wanna? I think you and Allison should talk about that.
We just
Oh.
have very different
Yeah.
things that we like in our clothes.
Yeah, and that's to be expected.
Yeah, so the way that Haley likes her bra to fit is different than the way I like my bra to fit, and the reason this shirt came about is because I was like, I love y'all and those sets look cute, but I'm not the person to just wear a bra and leggings just out in public, and the people that are confident to do that, I'm very happy for them.
Yeah.
But that's not my vibe. So I was like, I want to be able to, like, if I was coming to this brand as an outsider, I want to get that set, but be able to wear it in a way that makes me feel comfortable. And I, just like you, had sort of a vision of this top
Because
to be like,
it's so funny because I literally wore a mesh top every day, every time
Yeah.
we shot anything.
and I was jealous.
Yeah, but it was like the perfect like compromise of like, oh my God, I love mesh, I love like see-through things,
Yeah.
and you're like, but wait, and so it's just like the perfect. It's literally, I feel like your and I's like baby.
Yeah, it is the perfect mix between us, because I was like, I want to wear that bra, but like, I'm gonna put a t-shirt over it. Like, what's the point of me buying that bra?
That cute
if
ass
I'm just
bra.
gonna put a t-shirt over it and you're never gonna see it.
Well, because you wore a similar thing when we did a photo shoot together, like
and I had a beret.
No, she wore a full
full mesh.
full mesh top
with a
Yeah.
bra.
that she
and
cut.
I cut it with scissors 2 minutes before, because it was a dress. It was a mesh dress. I don't know. That was weird.
You're like, you would love this.
Yeah. But I had a literal breakdown and I cried my eyes out when we did our photo shoot for the tour last year. And I tried to wear that mesh top and I tried it. But
I tried.
I cried and I was like, that
And so
was
literally
not how I
the
wanted to feel.
the mock up for this top was that photo that we took.
Yeah.
And we literally put like black paint
Yeah.
and like in the iPad
Yeah.
like over that and made it like what it is now.
Yeah. And it's truly I wear it constantly.
But also,
So there you go.
and as far as disagreements go, also the Shining Star felt that.
Oh,
Also,
I
I
wasn't
think-
really a part of that, so.
Like as far
Justice
as
for
like
the
bra,
Shining
like
Star
sports
Belt
bras too, you were like, I like
Oh.
racerbacks.
It's not the type, the bra we have is not the type that I normally wear. And so it took some of the try-ons and the mock-ups for me to get to a spot that I enjoyed wearing that bra.
And she's
and
like,
making like the back more full and keeping the sides
like,
up
yes.
so there's no like you know coming out side boob. And so that took a minute to get to because I was like, I'm not telling you I'm not wearing that bra until those things change. So
that's the thing about it is that like we're like, no, I'm not wearing that.
I'm not doing it.
Like, we're like, being on camera is hard enough, but being on camera in something that you're not comfortable in is a whole other thing.
But what's great is that even if it's something like you are like, I would never wear a sports bra no matter what, but since we're making it, we're gonna make it look and feel the best it possibly can on me, and that's what I think is really unique.
Yeah,
about
like
what
I'm
we're
still
doing.
not gonna roll out wearing just the bra and leggings and nothing else. So
So
just letting you know.
okay. Aside from you guys, who else knew about this project? I feel like we told everyone. Like,
Everyone.
Yeah, all of our families.
It's like really great that like we
Trust our friends.
Yeah, well, it's just like no one really cares about us like that. Like no one really cares about what we say.
It's not getting leaked.
true.
Nothing's
Yeah.
getting leaked to the media here.
A lot of people.
We told a
And
lot
we
of
should.
people.
We should have.
I mean, we
quieter.
Strangers on the fucking
like
street.
our whole family, and like whenever
Yeah.
we'd like see friends, be like, "Oh, what are you guys like working on? What's going on?" And we're like, "Oh, we're actually making a clothing line."
Yeah.
like here's the whole thing.
I would send like samples, like pictures of me in the samples to like my friends. Like, what do you guys think? Like, I think that also getting their opinion was
Yeah.
really special as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Because they were kind of like a part in like the process. Okay.
And then like even your like family, like the women in your family, like talking about like, "Oh, this is what we're creating." And they're like, "Oh, like that's
Yeah,
cool."
well, I
Like,
sent
"Oh,
them
that's-
the camo bra and leggings, and they were like, "Oh, that's amazing for like young girls who are comfortable with their bodies." And I was
For
like,
you.
"But wait,
But
the
There's
mesh
more.
top," and they were
Yeah.
like, Psh.
Yeah. Cute. Are you aiming to be in the future? Are you aiming in the future to be in normal shops or like TFM? Will you keep it in the family? I don't know. Hold on, let me say
Is
that
that
again.
asking if we want to be?
Are you aiming to be like in shops one day? Or are you trying to like just keep it like to us? I think it just depends on like what the opportunity is.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
if Target, if you want to license that
wants
to
to
booty,
come, yeah.
Well, I have something to say about that. We want to be. I think I view us being in a store at some point, collaborating with someone like a Target. But also there are other big companies like that where with the price that we're paying, they are not going to accept us.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, some of them don't pay fair wages. They're not used to paying fair wages. They don't have to. They're not being called out. So some of these big box brands that I'd love to be in, love to have our brand in,
Would be like,
they don't align with us.
You're too ethical for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd have to be the perfect fit, but
Yeah.
that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be really cool. Because, like,
Yes.
especially just to be in a store and be able to provide a size range of cute-ass clothes, like, that means something to just, like, a random girl, woman off the street walking in and being, like, feeling represented by whatever size she is. I think that's super important. But it's also, I think, important for us to, you know, be... not charge $70 for a pair of leggings.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and like this collection, like at launch, like I didn't want this to be in stores because this collection, as I said a
ours.
million times, is like ours. It's for our fans. Like this
Yeah.
is unique to like our booties. You know, like this isn't.
Because people are like, are you going to have only camo stuff?
and I'm like, no. This is
you imagine?
honestly the only camo I want.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
would
did
never
say
wear
one day, I was like, blue
Caleb wanted to
camo.
do like blue camo.
I
black
said no.
Like,
I said
purple.
no. He said pink camo. I said no.
No, ma'am.
Do you know how
You know, we're
long
gonna
we
get a-
worked on this camo?
Yeah.
How long we worked on this camo?
You know what's funny though? We had the camo like match really well to my pants, and it was much darker. And then when we were trying the stuff on, I took a picture of it with my iPhone
In a different lighting.
in a different lighting, and it looked totally different.
It was like monochrome, like literally what we have
and
now.
then we redesigned it around the bad lighting of that photo.
So now he needs new pants.
So yeah, we had to make him some new pants. Okay. Was this a group idea or was someone the front runner?
I think this was a group effort.
This was,
Yeah, I
I feel
think
like,
it
the
was.
most efficient group project
Yeah.
you'll ever see.
Sign us up for college.
For college. I feel like we all have like our little things that we add to like whatever we're making anyway. And I think that for this, I think it's super special because we're all so passionate about it in our different ways.
Yeah.
So literally no. I think that Cameron has done a lot of learning
Yeah, I've done a lot.
Yeah,
Everything.
a lot.
I would like to point out, I want you to know how in the family this is, that the website
He built
that
it
you're
from the
on,
ground up.
I built it from
is IT.
nothing.
Cameron designed the website.
I taught myself how to code a website, and
He did.
no, that's not my life.
It's not my passion.
So-
My degree is in public health, so never have I ever learned to do that.
That's your t-shirt. My degree is in public health.
Why am I here? But like even like designing the website, like
Yeah.
we have postcards that we're putting in the bags. Like we designed that in Photoshop.
We just designed
like,
the box.
the
that special
logo,
things go in.
like the box, like
Yeah.
the mailer, everything. Like we designed, we sourced, we put together on who knows what, Photoshop, Canva, anything.
Yeah, I think
Fucking
we're also
Canva.
all kind of playing to our strengths. Like I'm a man, so it would not. I would not be good of me to be like, no, this is how I want the bra and leggings to fit. Like
wouldn't
Allison
listen
and
to you.
Haley are the ones who are wearing it and can speak like to the fitting and stuff.
Yeah.
And Cameron's doing all the back end stuff,
Yeah.
and I am helping like with the design ideas and whatnot. But like I think we all have our place,
Yeah.
and our strength.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I did fight for that mesh top too. I fucking love the mesh top.
I wasn't always on board with it.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I was
yeah.
on
I would have
board.
killed you.
I was just like,
He did
no,
not think that was going to sell.
Even up until last week, I was like, it'll sell, but it won't be
The front runner.
the front
It's
runner.
our
I was
front
like, it'll
runner.
be. I thought it was going to be.
right.
I thought it was like, okay, people will buy it with the set. That's why, like, I did the upsell on the website.
Yeah.
I was like, if they buy anything, like, I'm asking, oh, do you want the mesh tee?
Yeah.
I was like, no one's gonna get it. But then now, like, it's our top seller, and like,
and it's because we wear mesh so much in the fucking videos. Everyone
Yeah,
wants
I've been
to
wearing
look
this for a
like
while.
us.
Yeah. People were asking, and
Although-
I heard those questions real hard. I was like, skirt.
I will
not
say
answering
that
you.
a dream of mine is to, if this goes well, to release a jogger set for me to wear in
Yeah.
the videos
We
that
have-
are also unisex.
We have many ideas.
many ideas.
We have too many
But
ideas.
speaking of this going well, hopefully, because tomorrow, once this episode comes out, tomorrow's launch day.
yes.
So hopefully,
oh my gosh!
Yeah.
I am scared, but I think I'm scared for no reason. I just want it to go really well so we can make more collections.
Yeah.
We can restock because I know our finances, and
Yeah.
so I know what we're going to be able to do, and I want to be able to restock. I want to be able to have a new collection. I want to be able to keep growing, keep being better, and I'm just scared.
So
that
long story short, buy the clothes.
if this flops, I will cry.
No, he'll do more than
We've
cry.
been so scared because like our
Yeah.
merch really never sold well, and
Yeah.
almost everything that we've tried has kind of failed. So, but like not failed, and I do want to point out because I have seen some people comment like, oh, like that makes us sad when you say that you're not like being successful or whatever, but. We're talking about for like a sustainable like business model so that we can all afford to live, and especially in Los Angeles.
Yeah, that kind of grinds my gears because that's obviously like not what we meant, because the reason that we're still here is because we care so much about our subscribers and our fans. And like, but that's not to say that it hasn't been one of the hardest things we've ever
But
done.
I think with us, even when we've had literally nothing, there have been plenty of times where we literally could have scammed people.
Yeah.
Oh,
For
100%.
I mean, we could have had
Could've
them
been
buy the dumbest shit, paid for the dumbest things.
and it not even be like hours at all.
For example, our cardio concerts, which name one other person going around paying for concert venues and charging the same price for tickets that people in gyms do.
Right.
We pay so much money for those venues.
We did so much.
But it looked
mean,
good,
we make-
honey. Those lights
we
look
make-
good.
We make less than other people do.
Yeah.
like,
And
Cardio-
we're not,
like concerts.
like,
I mean-
I'm not knocking them. It's just like we have a vision and expectations for ourselves that
Yeah.
exceed our budget. And we're not
Yeah,
willing
I'm
and so we
sorry.
take
Like,
it
I just
on.
never want to live within my means.
No, we just want to always be better, do better, create new things, and that comes with a price tag.
We just
obviously.
have that rich mentality. Like, we think we're someone we're not, and we're just gonna fake it.
We
until
are
we
willing.
make it.
We are willing to not be able to pay rent
to have
make
those
people
to
happy.
to have those
lights
fucking
and some
lights at the
haze.
show.
Yes.
Yes.
Dead ass. Okay. That was great. Buy the clothes. The link is well, they launch tomorrow, but the link is gonna be in the description below. Anything else you need to say about
Which
that?
item do you recommend?
My favorite is the I love the sports bras, but most particularly the black sports bra. It's just like a great everyday sports bra. Allison?
I recommend the shirt, even though that's what you want to recommend. I recommend the
That's your
whole
passion.
black outfit. Bra, pants, shirt.
But here we go. I love the camo because like it looks
You
good
can see
on
the camo
literally
really good
every
through.
skin tone. It's going to look so bomb on every
That's
skin
true,
tone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Okay, recommendations, anyone? By the
By
clothes.
activity, yeah. That's it.
Intentions?
Intentions is to
To fulfill all these
Orders
correctly.
over here.
be in a headspace where we can sell out.
Yes.
Yeah. I think
Manifesting, selling out.
my intention is just to like just live in this moment of like what the fuck is going on. We just launched an activewear line. That's insane.
Yeah.
Like just take a step back and like be like in college. This was like my dream. This has always been my dream since I was like little. I would like write, I would like draw clothes and like just like and call it like my fashion design book. You can ask my mom. She has it still. And so just to be in this position right now and like look at these clothes and know that we made them ourselves and that we're gonna like be packing these orders and people are gonna have them in their hands.
I'm not
wanna
gonna
live
lie,
in
I've
the
gotten a little
moment.
teary-eyed a few times during, during this podcast.
Yeah, mine.
Oh my god. It's just crazy.
No, it's so crazy.
Are we all just gonna cry?
Blackpink, we're all crying.
Well, no. I mean, my therapist this morning said like, he told me like you need to like celebrate this moment and celebrate these victories because, I mean, what we're doing is really cool.
Yeah.
And like, we did this, and
Yeah.
that's insane to me because I don't know anyone that's launched a clothing line for people and cared about it this much.
Right. And we're all just literally just four best friends just fucking around. Like I cannot express that to you enough. And we just like love our fans who have been so ride or die through the ups and
Yeah.
downs. Like this entire collection was made for that purpose.
Yeah, and this collection has been through some shit.
It has been through some shit. Like we
It's
have
been
gone through
through-
some shit to get to where we are right now. And so I think and honestly, those trials have made it all the more special, I think, and all the more like, it doesn't seem real because like I never thought we would arrive to this point.
You know what we didn't even say?
What?
Is we were trying to launch in the middle of a pandemic.
Oh shoot, yeah.
We were supposed
That got
to
pushed back,
we
yeah.
were supposed to launch in June.
Yeah. We were actually looking more like March in the beginning.
Yeah, and then we're like,
Yeah.
okay, June, and they're like, okay, August.
We're like spring, summer. What is this collection?
But so many things have hit us, and we've just been like, at
We're just taking it as it comes.
at any point we could have said peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we did not.
I'm really
Well,
proud
that
of
was
us.
unexpected.
Allison, intention?
Pack all those orders correctly because I don't want someone to get the wrong size, the wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
And my intention is to, I think, enjoy the moment, like you said, and just to take this success and use it and be even better and continue to hold ourselves to the high standards that we do. Because I think at the end of the day, it's so much more fulfilling to know that we are doing the best we can.
Amen.
Coffee with my best friends.
Oh, cute.
Coffee with my active booties.